Hello everyone, welcome back. So in this video, we'll be discussing about interface endpoints and gateway endpoints, and we'll see how we can create these endpoints. So I've also written a post in my Instagram channel, so you can do visit my Instagram channel to know more about these VPC endpoints. So saying that, let's jump into the video. So here under VPC dashboard, you can see there is an endpoints. So you can click this endpoints, and here you can create an endpoint. So coming to the first one, which is interface endpoint. So we are going to create an interface endpoint here. So click create, and you can see the type. So these are interface endpoints. So basically the interface endpoints are used to connect your VPC to AWS services that are accessed over AWS private network. So these services typically have public endpoint on the internet, but can also be accessed privately from your VPC. So you can just give it as some name, sample endpoint. And coming to the services, since we are going to get with the interface, you can select anyone. So in this case, let's select S3. And you see we have interface as well as gateway. So since we are dealing with interface now, let's click interface. Interface, and select your VPC. So I'm just using the default VPC for now. So click default VPC, and you can select the subnets. But in this case, I'll just leave it as default and select the security groups. Before that, you can see under VPC, we have additional settings. So if you click here, we have enable DNS name. So basically enabling DNS name in an interface endpoints allows the endpoint to have a user-friendly domain name associated with it. So this makes it easier for your AWS resources to communicate with services over AWS network without needing to remember complex IP addresses. So that is why we can enable this DNS name. And under this, you can see enable private DNS only for inbound endpoint. So basically this option is only available for the services that are supported on both gateway and interface endpoints. So this optimizes networking cost as traffic to the services originating in the VPC is routed to via gateway endpoint, which is not charged. And traffic coming from on-premises is routed via interface endpoints. So for this S3, you can see we have both interface as well as gateway. So we can enable this one. So, and it ensures that DNS resolution is available for external entities trying to access your endpoint using DNS name, making it easier for them to connect to your VPC resources securely. So, however, within your VPC, DNS resolution for outbound traffic may not be using the same DNS resolution mechanism. So, these configuration can help with security and access control by restricting DNS resolution and external connections only. So that is what it is. You can know more about, you can just click it and you can know more about like what it is. So let's go down. You can select the security group. So we have already discussed about what are security groups and how can we create these rules in our previous video. So if you have not checked that out, please do check that out so that you'll be getting more information about it. And coming to policy, so when you create an interface or a gateway endpoint, you can attach an endpoint policy to it that controls access to the services to which you are connecting. Endpoint policies must be written in JSON format. Not all services support these endpoint policies. So here in this case, you can just give full access, or else you can create your JSON file and add the JSON format. So let me check here. I think in gateway, so the format will be in this way. So just wanted to show you that. So in this case, I'll just leave it as full access. So I can just give it as full access. And if you want to add any tags, you can add the tags, or else you can just leave it as default. So once that is done, you can just create it. So this is how you can create the interface endpoint. So that is the first endpoint that we have discussed. And if we go back, so let's refresh this, and similarly coming to the gateway endpoint. It is the same way that you want to create, but instead of interface endpoint, you will be adding gateway endpoint, right? Similarly, you can just give it as name sample endpoint. And coming to here, let's type, and we have two interfaces. You can see interface as well as gateway. So we already discussed about interface. Now let's try to go ahead with gateway. So here we have to S3 and DynamoDB. So let's create S3 and let's select our VPC, and it is a similar process that we have done just a few seconds ago. So you can select your routing table. Since we have this routing table, you can just attach this routing table and the policy. If you want to give full access, you can give that, or else you can just add it custom and add the relevant JSON format that you want. So you can see bucket name. So basically you have to change this. So I'm just adding this sample version from the docs. So in this case, full access and create endpoint. So basically this is how simple it is to create your endpoints. So just wanted to give it a glance, and in further videos, I'll talk more about these. So in this video, I hope you guys understood the concept of today's video. If you have liked the video, please click the like button below. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe to my channel and please share the video. Thanks everyone.